I was on a call with a client this morning who's training for his first triathlon, and he asked me an important question about food that I want to share with you guys and discuss with you, because we have slightly different views on it, and I think you guys might share one of these two sides. The question was, do you eat food for fuel or for enjoyment? On a personal level, I'm actually completely a food for fuel kind of person, and Risa, you, baby, as you can guess, is on the other side.
I mean, you gotta enjoy life. You gotta enjoy the flavor.
I agree.
And the different textures.
I agree. I think younger me didn't agree, though.
I mean, you tried in the beginning, but kind of like...
And then I just stopped trying.
You stopped trying at some point. You're like, what's the point of this? And then you just started cooking.
So then, I think at my core, I'm the kind of person who, if I could ingest all of the nutrients I need in a pill, I would probably opt for that at least the majority of the time, because I just want the nutrients. But I think most people, like I said, are not in that camp. Now I see how food is an integral part of our lives, and it's way more than just, fuel that we put in our body.
I'm very much on the food as a pleasure experience side.
I think myself now, I'm probably still on this side, but I've definitely moved quite a bit towards the middle. Do you think you've moved towards me?
Definitely. I mean, I used to want to have like miso soup and like a rice bowl and have like little dishes so it felt whole as a meal.
Like more washoku, Japanese
style, because my mom is a die-hard, like presentable foodie.
Her mom is like your mother.
Ultimate.
She's a chef. Like she's a chef.
She's a finger food specialist.
Yes.
So she does party foods and she does like these
it's
little
incredible.
Cute. Like...
We had Christmas dinner at their place in Garuizawa, and it was I have never had a home prepared meal that was that elaborate. It was unbelievable.
That was basically my entire life. So like coming into like just one plate, which actually makes things easier.
Yes. Everyone on my side is like yes.
But it helps definitely when you just have one plate and you can sort of portion each.
That's the thing.
Part.
I'm so happy you said that. I didn't even think of that. So
we meet in the middle.
Boop. So for me, that's it. With one plate, I can just look at the plate and know, like, is this enough this? Is this enough that? Is this enough that? And then I can do whatever. Obviously I don't make totally bland food. Like I like making tandoori chicken and garlic steak or whatever. But it's pretty simple. But I like the one plate concept because it means I know exactly what I need on that one plate, and I can kind of divide it how I want to divide it.
I've learned that it's much more satisfying to have the nutrients there as well. Because, for example, I would eat pancakes with the girls and then have an amazing time, and then by like 2 p.m., 2 hours after the meal, I'll be really hungry or I'll be really tired because of the sugar high and drop of carbs and all that. So at the end of the day, when I measure my satisfaction through the meals, I'm like, oh, it's not as satisfying as having a proper nutritious
really good
plate.
Point.
And
really
so,
good point.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about being focused on the nutrients.
To some extent.
Yeah, exactly. More than just flavor.
Yeah, I'm so happy you said that, because I think if you stay firmly planted on either side of this spectrum, the problem is there's loss. Like there's a lot of loss. So if you're just pure food for fuel, frankly, you don't enjoy food at all. And food is something that should be enjoyed. Yeah. And like I am a food for fuel person, but I still recognize that it took me time to get here, but I'm here now. And I think if you're purely on the food for pleasure side, again, the loss is nutrients, and nutrients matter. Your macros in general, but also just nutrients. So meeting somewhere in the middle kind of allows you the best of both worlds, which is fundamentally eating nutritious but also delicious food. And I think that's the combo that feels best in your mouth, but also in your body.
I mean, I've always loved food, and I always like cooking, and so I really appreciate the different flavors and textures, and even the environment which it provides. So like if you're in Hawaii, you want to eat Hawaiian food, or if you're in like Thailand, you want to eat Thai food, and like it's things like that. And without the food, it's a little different. And I think, especially being Japanese, we love food and it's really ingrained in our culture.
I agree.
Like mochitsuki and like everything is basically around food.
Yeah.
Like, what do you eat when you're celebrating? You eat like
This thing.
mochi gome, like red
Yeah,
bean rice toka.
Yeah, every
like,
holiday,
miso
almost every
soup
holiday
is
has a
like
thing.
yeah, it's like seasonal, whatever. It's very,
And
very
even like prefectures have the thing.
yeah,
that you eat in that
exactly. So
prefecture.
like the first thing you talk about if you're Japanese is like, I'm going to Hokkaido. What do you want to eat? Like,
Yeah.
何食べる? Like,
Yeah.
魚の刺身食べる? So I honestly think food is such a big part of our Japanese culture.
I agree.
And
I see it with the kids too.
yeah,
With Josh
so
and Luna, food is the
the
first thing they
thing.
say when they come back is how delicious grandma's food was.
でしょ?
And they'll talk about the thing that she made and all
Yeah, it's
that.
like これ美味しかったね. Or it's even the same thing with like friends. You're like, what do you want to eat for lunch? It's like either the weather or food. It's like
そうだね。
天気いいねとか
そう。
or like これ美味しかったね. That's like just things that people tend to talk about.
Right.
It's like so ingrained in that in us that
That's a really good point.
I don't know how to live without that.
I feel like you've come a little bit towards me, but you still retain that part of you that wants to eat delicious stuff.
Yes.
Thank God, by the way. And I just want to step back and say this. If you are like how I was and you're a pretty die-hard food for fuel kind of person, and I still have friends. There's one friend in particular, I'm not going to say his name, but I have one friend in particular who's firmly, I'm not going to say his name, he's firmly fixed on the food as fuel side of things. And I've even had this conversation with him to try to help him loosen up because he's really, really rigid. Like, kudos to you for fighting the good fight, those of you out there, but it's better in the middle. Like, just take my word for it as a guy who really was on that side. It really is better in the middle. And I'm really blessed to have you as my partner because if it weren't for you, I would just be eating the same things all the time.
I know.
So, which is like sad. So meet somewhere in the middle. Even if you're on the pure pleasure side, trust me, there's a
Gotta
lot to be
spice it
said
up.
for nutritional content. So,
Yes.
find yourself something in the middle.
Yes.
I think that's fair then.
Yeah.
We've both kind of helped each other meet in the middle. And that's it, guys. What side are you on? Food for fuel, food for pleasure? Let us know. And if you haven't already, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. See you guys. Later! Of course, baby. You can beautify me. Oh, hi.
Pat you down. お願いします。
お願いします。
今日は何ですかね。
今日は何で今日どうしたね。
今日はどうしようかな。
今何の話してますか今日は。
今日はフード。
今日フードの話ですかどういうことですか